Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. On my channel, you are given very informative history about coins. Today's video is a complete history of the Liberty Jefferson nickel. Let's watch the video.
1960s might actually change everything for you. The 1965 Liberty Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that people overlook every single day, yet rare varieties and high-grade examples of this year have shocked collectors on eBay and major auction platforms. So stay with this video until the very end, because if you have the right 1965 nickel, it might just turn the tables for you. The Jefferson nickel series had already been circulating for nearly 3 decades by 1965, but this particular year holds special importance. The United States Mint was dealing with a nationwide coin shortage and major shifts in metal compositions during the mid-1960s to meet rising demand and reduce production delays. The Mint stopped using mint marks altogether from 1965 to 1967. This means every 1965 Jefferson nickel you find has no mint mark, and that detail alone makes the year historically unique. Although millions of these coins were minted, not all of them are created equal when it comes to value. The biggest factor is condition. Most 1965 nickels were heavily circulated, so finding one in sharp, mint state condition is surprisingly difficult. On eBay, circulated examples sell for small premiums, but the real value lies in the high-grade nickels with strong details and full steps on the Monticello. Building collectors pay special attention to the steps on Monticello because they reveal how perfectly the coin was struck. A 1965 Jefferson nickel with full steps can sell anywhere from $40 to $120 depending on the sharpness and overall surface quality. If the coin is graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, prices rise sharply. Some MS66 full-step examples have sold between $150 and $300, simply because they are extremely hard to find. The rarest pieces from this year are the extremely high grades. A few top-graded 1965 Jefferson nickels have appeared at major auctions and have gone for impressive prices due to their rarity. Coins graded MS67 or with exceptional luster and perfectly clean surfaces have sold for several $100s, with some near-flawless examples crossing the $500 mark in competitive bidding, but grading is not the only factor that can boost the value of a 1965 nickel. Minting errors from this year are also highly collectible. Some of the most valuable error varieties include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double die features. On eBay, 1965 nickels with noticeable mint errors regularly sell from $50 to $300 depending on the intensity and clarity of the mistake. A dramatic off-center strike or a significant clipped planchet can even reach $400 or more. Another interesting detail about the 1965 nickel is the transition period in U.S. coin production. During this era, the Mint was experimenting with new metal blends and striking pressures, which resulted in some oddities. Have you ever imagined that a simple nickel from the late 1990s could completely change things for you? The 1999 Liberty Jefferson nickel might look ordinary, but rare high-grade pieces and certain minting errors from this year have shocked collectors on eBay and other major auction platforms. So before you spend it or toss it aside, stay with this video until the very end, because if you have the right 1999 nickel, it might just turn the tables for you. The Jefferson nickel of 1999 comes from a period when the U.S. Mint had greatly improved its striking quality, producing sharper designs and more consistent coins, despite millions of nickels being produced by the Philadelphia and Denver mints in 1999, not all of them hold the same value. The difference between an ordinary nickel and a valuable one comes down to condition, rarity, and minting errors that escape the minting process. The majority of 1999 nickels in circulation today are worn, scratched, or lacking in detail, which keeps them at face value. But once you start looking at well-preserved and uncirculated coins, the value begins to rise surprisingly fast. On eBay, Mint State 1999 Jefferson nickels with strong details sell anywhere from a few dollars up to $20 or $30. The real attention, however, goes to coins with full steps on Monticello. These full-step nickels, especially in grades MS66 and MS67, are the ones that collectors actively hunt for. 1999 nickel with full steps graded. MS66 can sell between $40 and $80 depending on eye appeal. Coins graded MS67, which are extremely difficult to find without marks or weak strikes, have crossed the $150 to $250 range in online listings. These high-grade full-step coins are prized because they represent nearly perfect examples of the year's minting quality. But the most exciting category is mint errors. This is where the 1999 nickel surprises everyone. Error varieties such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, double-struck coins, and strong double dies have appeared on eBay, sometimes selling for far more than expected. A noticeable off-center 1999 Jefferson nickel can bring $50 to $150, depending on how dramatic the shift is. A clipped planchet or a double-struck example can easily sell between $80 and $200. The rarest and most valuable are the large dramatic errors that attract serious collectors. Coins that were struck on the wrong planchet or have major die cracks have been listed and sold for several $100s in auctions. These are the kinds of oddities that collectors chase because of their uniqueness and scarcity. You ever wondered if a simple coin from the early 1990s could actually be worth far more than 5 cents? The 1991 Liberty Jefferson nickel might look completely ordinary at first glance, but rare high-grade examples and surprising minting errors from this year have shocked collectors on eBay and major auction platforms. So stay with this video till the very end, because if you have the right 1991 nickel, it might just turn the tables for you. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and although millions were struck, not all of them carry the same value today. Most of the coins from that era entered heavy circulation, which means finding a sharp, clean, uncirculated example is far more difficult than most people think. This is exactly why collectors pay strong premiums for high-grade 1991 nickels on eBay. Circulated 1991 nickels generally sell for small amounts, but things change quickly when you focus on mint-state coins. A well-preserved 1991 nickel with strong details, bright luster, and clean surfaces can sell for $10 to $25. But when you step into the world of full-step nickels, the value climbs sharply. The steps on the Monticello building are one of the most important features collectors look at. A 1991 nickel with clearly defined full steps can sell between $30 and $80, depending on the grade. Higher grade examples, especially those graded MS66 or MS67 by PCGS or NGC, are much more valuable. These coins are rare because most 1991 nickels were not stored or saved properly. A 1991 nickel-graded MS67 has sold for over $200 in online listings, especially when the steps are strong and the surface is flawless. Now let's talk about the part everyone loves, the most minting errors. This is where the 1991 nickel can surprise you in a big way. Error types like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double die obverse, double die reverse, broad strikes, and die cracks are all known for this year. Error nickels from 1991 have sold on eBay anywhere from $40 to over $200 depending on the intensity of the error. A dramatic off-center strike or a double-struck coin can easily reach $300 in competitive bidding. Some collectors also search for transitional errors or planchet, issues that occurred due to manufacturing inconsistencies in the early 1990s. While these are not extremely common, the few verified examples have sold for impressive amounts at auction. If your coin looks unusual in color, shape, thickness, or weight, it might be worth taking a closer look. Auction platforms like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections have seen strong results for 1991. Jefferson nickels in perfect or near-perfect grades, coins with brilliant luster, sharp rims, and well struck. Monticello steps have crossed the $300 mark because they stand out from the millions of average examples. If you have a 1984 Liberty Jefferson nickel lying around, this video might turn the tables for you, because some of these nickels are selling for shocking prices online, and many collectors don't even realize what they're holding. After the intro, you'll understand exactly which 1984 nickel can bring you serious money and why. Stick around till the end so you don't miss its real value according to eBay, auction results, and other online platforms, and also how you can sell yours for maximum profit. The 1984 Liberty Jefferson nickel comes from a period when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of circulating coins every year, but even in these massive mintages, a few hidden treasures slip through. Many collectors skip the 1980s nickels thinking they are all common, and that's exactly where the opportunity begins for people who check their change carefully. What looks ordinary at first glance might actually be a rare condition coin or an error variety that can multiply its value. The first thing collectors look for in a 1984 nickel is its overall condition. A perfectly preserved example with a clean, bright surface and sharp details can fetch an impressive premium. eBay listings show that high-grade 1984 nickels, certified by professional grading companies, can sell for surprisingly strong amounts because collectors always compete for the best surviving examples. While most circulated coins are worth face value, the extremely sharp untouched ones stand out immediately. But condition alone isn't the whole story. The real excitement comes from error varieties. Some 1984 Jefferson nickels have been found with striking issues like off-center strikes, broad strikes, die-cracks, die-chips, and other unexpected mint mistakes that collectors love. These errors transform an ordinary nickel into a unique collectible and can send the value jumping from a few cents to many dollars, depending on severity and rarity. eBay auctions and dedicated coin selling websites show consistent demand for dramatic mint errors from the 1980s. Another factor that boosts the price is the nickel's overall eye appeal. Clean surfaces, strong luster, and attractive toning can all increase value. Collectors often pay more for coins that simply look better, even if they show light wear. This is why some 1984 nickels in slightly circulated condition still sell above face value when they have strong visual appeal. Market demand has remained steady for the Jefferson series, and online sales reflect that trend clearly. Historical interest also plays a big role. The Jefferson nickel has been in continuous production since 1938, and collectors who build full date and mint mark sets are always searching for the best examples of each year. Even though the 1984 issue had a large mintage, truly high-end examples are difficult to find in circulation today, which helps push the price higher on auction platforms. When a rare grade or special error appears online, competition among bidders heats up quickly. Have you ever imagined that a simple 5-cent coin lying unnoticed in your drawer could actually change everything for you? The 1977 Liberty Jefferson nickel may look completely ordinary, but some rare varieties of this coin have shocked collectors on eBay and major auction sites with unbelievable prices. So before you spend it or ignore it, stay with this video until the end. Because if you have the right 1977 nickel, it might just turn the tables for you. The Jefferson nickel series has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, carrying the classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and the historic Monticello building on the back. By 1977, the U.S. Mint had already refined the design multiple times, resulting in sharper details and more durable metal blends. This year's nickels were minted in massive quantities at Philadelphia and Denver, giving us the no mint mark version and the 1977D variety. Most people assume these coins have no collectible value, but the truth is that certain high-grade examples and rare minting errors are selling for surprising amounts online. On eBay, standard circulated 1977 nickels usually sell for a small premium above face value, but the real money appears in mint-state specimens, uncirculated pieces with sharp steps on Monticello, commonly known among collectors as full steps, can sell anywhere from $20 to $60 depending on the overall quality. When these coins are graded MS-66 or higher by professional grading companies, their value jumps significantly. There are recorded sales of MS-67 examples, selling for $300 to $500, driven by their rarity and the difficulty of finding flawless coins from this year. Things get even more exciting when we talk about minting errors. A 1977 Jefferson nickel with an off-center strike, a clipped planchet, or a strong double die can attract intense bidding activity. Some of these error nickels, listed on eBay, have sold between $100 and $400, depending on the visibility and uniqueness of the mistake. A full-step example combined with a notable minting error can go even higher, catching the attention of niche collectors who specialize in Jefferson nickel varieties. Auction platforms like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections have also seen impressive prices. A top-graded 1977D Jefferson nickel with perfect full steps once crossed the $1,000 mark because of its exceptional strike and pristine surfaces. These kinds of coins are extremely rare, and whenever they appear in auctions, they tend to create competitive bidding wars. Serious collectors always look for top population coins, and 1977 mint state full-step nickels fall into that category. Another factor that boosts the value of this coin is the condition in which it's preserved. Coins protected in holders or sets since the 1970s often retain their original luster and sharpness. A well-preserved 1977 nickel has a much higher chance of receiving a premium grade and thus a higher market value. 1954 Liberty Jefferson nickel lying around in your collection or maybe hidden in an old jar of coins. This small piece of metal might turn the tables for you. What looks like an ordinary nickel could actually be worth far more than you imagine. Many people have found out too late that their old Jefferson nickel, especially from the 1950s, was selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars online. So stick around till the end of this video because I'll reveal how much the 1954 Liberty Jefferson nickel is worth according to eBay and major auction platforms, and how you can sell it the right way to get its full value. The 1954 Jefferson nickel carries not just historical importance but also serious collector interest. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin honors one of America's founding fathers and the nation's third president, Thomas Jefferson. The obverse side features Jefferson's left-facing portrait, with the word Liberty and the year 1954 inscribed along the rim. The reverse side showcases Monticello, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, with the Latin phrase E pluribus unum above it and the denomination 5 cents below. This elegant design has made the Jefferson nickel a classic piece in American numismatics. The 1954 Jefferson nickel was minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. Each of these mints produced millions of coins, but only a small fraction have survived in pristine condition today. That's why collectors and investors are willing to pay premium prices for high-grade or error varieties of this coin. On eBay and other online platforms, the average circulated 1954 Jefferson nickel might sell for around 50 cents to $2. But if your coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, the price can climb rapidly. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by PCGS or NGC often sell for between $50 and $200. The real surprise comes with error coins. Double die strikes, repunched mint marks, and off-center errors are extremely valuable and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their rarity and quality. One of the most sought-after versions is the 1954 S Jefferson nickel, especially in full steps condition. Full steps refers to the sharp, visible lines on the steps of the Monticello building, a feature that proof coins also hold remarkable value. The 1954 proof nickels, struck with mirror-like surfaces for collectors, were minted in Philadelphia and sold in special sets. These proofs, when preserved perfectly, can bring prices from $100 to over $400, depending on their grade and cameo quality. A PR68, Deep Cameo, 1954, proof nickel recently, sold for over $1,200 due to its flawless surface and strong contrast between the raised and flat areas of the coin. Condition plays the biggest role in determining value. If your coin still shines with its original luster,